Welcome to another amazing episode of That New Toy Smell. It's me, Killen, and I'm here to talk about one of my favorite subjects, Lego. Now, we've covered tons and tons of specific toy lines and will continue to do so, but I thought we'd take a break from that this week to do a spotlight on a very specific company. And of course, that company is Lego. So sit back and enjoy this detailed history timeline of one of our most favorite toy companies. I bring you the history of Lego. Our story begins in 1932, where Ole Kirk Christensen, master carpenter and joiner, establishes a small business in the village of Billund, Denmark. As a master carpenter, he built many simple things like ladders, ironing boards, and many structures. But as hard economic times hit the market, he had a hard time selling these things. So instead, he focused his time and efforts in building miniatures, small toys, made out of wood. Now the toys you see here is an example of the kind of things that Lego produced in the early days. Now starting from 1934 all the way into the early 50s before they started using plastic heavily, these are the kind of examples of the toys you would find with the Lego stamp on them. Now in 1934, the company adopts the name Lego for their products. Born under the Danish word legat, or play well, later on it's realized that the Latin word means I study or I put together, an ironic coincidence that follows the toy through the decades. Also, you may have noticed that Lego has undergone many changes to its actual icon logo. Seen here on this image shows the different years and types they used throughout the ages until finally landing on what we see today. In 1942, Lego suffered yet another setback with a fire completely destroying their factory. Refusing defeat, they quickly rebuild and set their eyes on the future. In 1947, Lego finally purchases a plastic molding machine, which allows them to produce many different types of plastic toys. Along with the purchase of the plastic molding machine, they were able to lock down Kitty Craft, a self-locking building brick toy. Now, at the time, it didn't seem like a big deal, but we'll later find out that this system will eventually lead to the success of Lego. With the plastic molding machine, they were underway building many simple plastic toys, eventually leading to even more complex tractor-style vehicles. In 1949, Lego releases its first sets of bricks on the market. Despite having poor initial sales, they decided to continue expanding this system, eventually changing all the boxes to include the word Lego bricks on every package. It was really during these years that Lego discovered that the brick system was way more profitable and had bigger potential than all the other lines they were producing. So from this point on, you're going to see less wooden toys, less plastic simple toys, and more bricks. In 1958, Lego decided to redesign the brick to help improve the quality and help the design of this critical piece of Lego. Now this is the exact same Lego design that we use today, which was originally developed in 1958. In 1960, with yet another warehouse fire, Lego has totally ceased production of all wooden toys. Putting all their eggs in one basket, Lego decided to focus strictly on the building of the bricks. With millions of cells worldwide, they saw to the future and decided to build and expand on the Lego system. Now, over the next several years, Lego continues to develop this brick system, including adding wheels, developing new trains, planes, and eventually in 1974 they released the minifigures known as Maxi-Figs. These were basic figures with no facial expressions printed on them. Later we find in 1978 we finally are brought with what we know now as the minifigure with the smiley painted face. And then later down the road we'll see that Lego will start to develop this more and more in the early 2000s until now, making them way more detailed than they've ever been. With Lego continuing to expand the Lego brick system, they decided to break into themes. So in 1979 we see the first theme that breaks out, which is called simply Space. With the high success of the Lego theme Space, Lego decides to continue to expand on the themes. In 1984, they finally introduced the castle system, which continuously runs all the way throughout today. Soon after, in 1989, they released a highly anticipated Pirates theme, which yet again still continues to run all the way through today. With Lego continuing to build on its themes, they realized that there wasn't too many other places they could go. So in 1999, with their very first licensed theme, Lego introduced Lego Star Wars, which incidentally would become one of their best-selling lines ever produced. Following Lego's highly successful run with Star Wars, they tried many other themes, including Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, Spider-Man, and of course, the highly successful Lego Batman. Not to mention the newly acquired Harry Potter license that they're continuously still running to this day. Lego producing all these different licenses have tried everything they could think to possibly keep the bricks active and new and fun in everyone's imagination. We can only continue to hope and believe that Lego will produce these amazing sets and continue to amaze us with the creativity and engineering that goes to each and every block. Lego staying ahead of the curve and always innovative has also found itself throwing its platforms onto the video game console systems. They will continue to grow and prosper throughout the upcoming years and evolve with the future with the rest of the toy industry. I'm, for one, excited and can't wait to see what Lego will bring out next.